Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. It seems like this always happens when I'm about to go live. There's some kind of technical issue that springs up. Let me clean that lens there. You got to see this. You got to see this. Trish sent this to me the other day, and I meant to show it to you guys. It's pretty outlandish, and that's my opinion. Hold on a second. Now I got some reverb. How you guys doing out there? What I'm about to show you is just pretty bizarre. All right, before I do that, I don't know if you guys remember, I've highlighted some of this guy's videos. His name is Quentin Booker. If you just take a look at his content, give him some love if you feel like he's worth it, and I think he is. Quentin Booker. I'll leave the link in the description below. He's live streaming right now. He's got about 42 people watching, but he's live streaming right now, and he just got his channel 100% demonetized. Now, he didn't ask me to say this, and I don't know if you'd want me to say this or not, but you want to support guys like this and Big Nick Florida Accountability because they're basically the first line of defense, holding politicians and especially law enforcers accountable for just obeying their own laws. I mean, these people are out there not only running roughshod over the freedoms of Americans who just want to be left alone. They just want to go to work. They want to provide for their families. They want to be left alone. But these law enforcers, if they would just obey their oath to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, we would have a better world to live in. So, again, his name is Quentin Booker. That's him right there. He's live streaming right now. He got 100% demonetized and doing this kind of work. Especially this channel, his channel, a lot of other channels. It's like a full-time job. Just try to get this stuff out of here. And what YouTube does is they disincentivize you to do that because it takes such a large slice of your day. You don't have time for anything else. So what they're trying to do is squeeze people out and make it not profitable for them to go and produce content that people want to see. And so they end up falling by the wayside and they quit doing it because they can't support themselves and do YouTube too. So support guys like Quentin Booker and Big Nick Florida Accountability, Amagansett Press. That's another good one. There's a lot of other ones, guys. If I'm leaving you out, please forgive me. Okay, so let's get into this Bizarro world. Check this out. And we'll stop a couple times too, because if I don't stop and interrupt, then it's this long continuous string, and then people either slam me with the copyright or YouTube says this is duplicate information or whatever. So I know it drives some people crazy to stop and talk about it, but I want to show you. You've probably seen this lady. If you have, don't blow it for everybody. Check this out. Okay, listen very carefully.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
Okay, so this is Trump's spiritual advisor. Her name is Paula White. Okay, so here's a question that I have for you guys. Yeah, Colorado Donkey Watch. Thanks, guys. If you guys think of people that I'm constantly trying to highlight and stuff, and I'm not thinking about them, just throw it in the comment section, and if we can all just stand together, if we stand together, we won't hang separately. Is the idea. So this is Paula White. She is the spiritual advisor to the White House. Now, it's not rare that the White House gets a spiritual advisor. I mean, look at Billy Graham. He's been doing it for years, and a whole host of other evangelists, televangelists, whatever you want to call them. Ernest Ainsley. Who did he sit under? I don't know. But the point is, here's the question. What does the state and the church have anything to do with each other? Isn't there supposed to be a separation between the church and state? So what does the church have anything to do with government? The answer is everything. Because you have to have faith to be as a member of a church. And you have to have faith to believe in government. That's all government is. It's a mental construct. It's not a reality. Government is at the bottom line. If you boil everything down, the bottom line to government is that it's the idea that somebody somewhere or a group of somebodies somewhere has a higher claim over your life and property than you. Is that true? No, it's not true. It rests 100% on faith. So what does a spiritual advisor and the White House have anything to do with each other? They have everything to do with each other because they rest on the fulcrum of faith. You got to exercise faith and the idea that somebody somewhere has a higher claim over your life and property than you, and that somebody has a right, a moral right, to initiate unjust force and violence on you. That's the second plank of government. The third plank of government, which probably is really the first plank, is the etymology of government itself. Government literally means mind control, or to control the mind. Mentis and governo. Governo means to control or govern, and mentis means the mind. Mind control. Is it legitimate for anybody to want to come into your mind and control your mind? No, it's patently illegitimate. So, but I want you to see this, okay? I'm going to try to move this along so that we can make this a short shareable video, because this is completely outlandish if you look at this from the perspective of truth and logic, okay?
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. And I won't do that.
We are in a...
Wow, what a statement. To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God himself. Wow, that's amazing.
spiritual war right now. Let every demonic network that has aligned itself against the purpose, against the calling of President Trump, let it be broken, let it be torn down in the name of Jesus. You want me to tell you what my thoughts are? The thoughts...
By the way, that last thing was at a Trump rally. Okay, so Trump knows she's saying this stuff. He endorses her. She endorses him.
Of the King of Kings, the thoughts of the Lord of Lords. I'm downloading heaven. Hey!
I don't know about you, but if I was sitting in the congregation when she did something like that, I'd be out of there so fast. And if they didn't have a door, I would freaking make one, man. God. Okay, so in case you can't read that, it's Donald Trump's personal pastor and spiritual advisor.
I kind of know I'm a little bit cute, all right? I am Paula, who is pretty. Well, maybe I'm not going to be pretty when I'm 90 years old.
Here's this former messed up Mississippi girl. Lived in a trailer that they called trailer trash. Daddy committed suicide. Got pregnant out of wedlock. Been married. Been divorced. Not just once. Twice.
People go, well, how'd you become the spiritual advisor of the president? We'll get to that later. It's all in there. Michael Jackson, Kid Rock, the president, it's all in there, all right?
Thank you, Paula. What a great job you do. The evangelicals. I hear we're more popular than ever with the evangelicals. You're the only one, and she'll tell the truth. She'll only tell the truth.
Southern California is looking at, well, there's already law that's passed through the governor that says the Bible is a book of hate speech and to ban the sale of it. Snapchat was created as the largest human trafficking because the greatest people on there were human traffickers because the FBI and because intelligence could not do it because it's live and it's real time and they can track your kids in less than a second and take them.
There's a Department of Treasury in heaven that God is watching over everything you do, and you are storing up eternal treasure that will go so far beyond, I think, that we can even begin to imagine. You need to send in $3,500. You need to send in $35,000. You need to send in that $100,000 check. If you do not write that P.O. box and you do not call that toll-free number and you do not become a ministry of sustainer, you will never see sustainment in your life, and your dream will die. Your call will die.
Wow, what a claim. If you don't send $3,500, $35,000, $1,000 check, your dream will die. Your claim will die. What can you write a script for a charlatan any more clear than that? Give me a break. Give me a break. Give me a freaking break. That people these days with easy access to the internet and the ability to fill their minds with knowledge, I mean substantial, substantive knowledge, that they still fall for this kind of thing, it blows my mind, guys. It completely blows my mind. Oh, yeah, I forgot there's some text here. Let's see.
And your dream will die. Your car will die.
White owned a private jet, a $2.6 million home. I haven't substantiated any of this. This could be completely false or it could be true. You know, it's up to us to do our own homework on this. I wanted to more show you the spiritual aspect of this and the welcoming of this kind of quote unquote spirituality into a government entity, i.e., the White House. $3.5 million condo in Trump Tower, and was investigated in 2007 by the corrupt Senate Finance Committee. You know, I don't give any credence to any financial investigation by any political parasite. It's all BS. It's kind of like this, sorry, I keep interrupting, but it's kind of like this, well, what kind of president is he? He didn't release his tax returns. So what? I don't think Trump should be taxed. I don't think you should be taxed. I don't want to be taxed. I think extortion is wrong. It's wrong to extort somebody for one simple reason. You don't want others extorting from you. So taxation is not only theft, it's a different kind of theft. It's theft by force. I don't want to be extorted, and don't get me to show my financial records. It's none of the government's business, and it's none of the government's business what Trump makes. So I'll back Trump on this. Don't show your tax returns. But if you're not going to show your tax returns, then make it a law of the land. Then none of us have to show our tax returns or even do our taxes for that matter every April. But he's not going to do that because he's not for the American people. He's for the Federal Reserve. He's for the IRS. He's for the Zionist International Banking Cartel. And if you have a disagreement about that, you know, show me where I'm wrong. But other than that, he's your enemy. Trump is your enemy, period. Just like Hillary is your enemy, Barack Obama is your enemy, Reagan was your enemy. They're all enemies because they work for the corporation, the Title 28, Section 300215A corporation, okay? Misuse of donations. Who's to say about that? Before becoming a big Trump promoter in 2016 election.
Here he is, the nominee. That has to be providence. That has to be the hand of God, in my opinion.
And any tongue that rises against him will be condemned according to the word of God. It is God that raises up a king. It is God that sets one down. And so when you fight against the plan of God, you're fighting against the hand of God. If we get two more, we will be able to overturn demonic laws and decrees that has held this nation in captivity.
And let me speak to that. If we get two more Supreme Court justices, we will be able to overturn the demonic laws in this country. Well, I have one name for you. Chief Justice John Roberts. Remember him? He was the Republican appointee upon which all the Republicans pinned their hopes that they wouldn't pass Obamacare, and it was down to one vote. Chief Justice Republican John Roberts. Guess what we got? We got Obamacare because of a Republican. Thanks, Republicans. That right there, if anything, and there are a plethora of examples, guys. I could list example after example after example, but that's just one to show you that the Democrat versus Republican is a 100% three-ring circus dog and pony show. Chief Justice John Roberts did not stop the infliction, and that's what it is. It was an infliction of Obamacare on the masses. Obamacare was foisted on Americans against their will, without their consent, by the passage of this law of Chief Justice John Roberts, a Republican. Well, I'm Republican, I'm conservative because we're on the right road. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's just as evil as the Demoplicans. You got the Republicrats that they call Republicans, and the Demoplicans, which they call the Democrats. And they're both the same. They're two sides of the same coin. They're two wings of the same bird of prey. Period. Changed my mind. All right, let's get back to Paula White.
That our president is doing absolutely phenomenal, that he is in great health every way. Huge history buff. It's like he understands that which has been and that which will be. Thank you for your courageous.
He understands that which has been and that which will be. That sounds like Paula White looks at Donald Trump like he's some sort of god. Huh.
And bold stand for religious liberty and for your timeless service to all Americans. We appreciate the price that you have paid.
to walk in the high calling. History will record the greatness that you have brought for generations. And so you sit back and go, well, yeah, but she crazy. She up there, suppose she up there in the White House praying. You better believe I'm praying. You better believe I'm up there saying in the name of Jesus. You better believe that I'm walking around those parameters saying I lift this up and I dedicate every ounce of this place as holy ground. I release angels right now in the Holy Spirit and walls of fire. I burn up every demonic altar in the name of Jesus and I call it to crumble.
All words. Listen to this last squat. It's like a banshee. Listen to this.
Hey!
That is Bizarro World, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I'm telling you, they squall and they squawk about this separation of church and state. There can be no separation of church and state. The state is a church. It's the cult of personality. It's who they follow. It's not about morality. You're never going to see you'll see an Andrew Yang say, "I'm going to give you $1,000 a month, every one of you, everybody over the age of 18. You don't have to meet any kind of requirements." Well, I guess 2 requirements: be an American and have a pulse. And you get $1,000 a month. Anything the government gives you, it can take away from you. If the government is big enough to give you everything you want, it's big enough to take everything you've got. So you got Andrew Yang wanting to give you $1,000 a month. There are no free lunches. It will cost you. It's going to cost you big time, and I guarantee you it's going to cost you more than the $1,000 a month you receive, because that which the government gives, they're not just given without question. They're giving with strings attached and demands. And that's the way the government is. That's the way the government functions. That's the way the government operates. And every congressman and senator, even though they may be right about certain things, when you nail it all down and you boil it all down, they're all working for the same Title 28, Section 3002 federal corporation. When somebody comes along and says that the state and the church are separated, no, they're not. Because both the church and the state require that one element that keeps it all going: the faith of the constituency. Faith. Just have faith. Now, I saw a couple of super chats come in, and I'm going to go ahead and deal with those real quick. And I really appreciate you guys. Oh, I got something going here. Let's see. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. How you guys doing out there? Let me read some super chats, and I want to try to keep this as short as possible. I did not have that pulled up. How's the weather out your way? It's getting really cold again in Oklahoma. What was that? You get $1,000 and you get $1,000. You get 1,000. Let's see. You haven't researched Q and don't realize Trump is not a politician and is hashtag drain the swamp on both sides. Can't believe you're vouching for a Now This video. It's not about a Now This video. It's about what Paula White said in this video. Now This, I'm not vouching for Now This. I don't support Now This. That they have to substantiate and back up their own claims. And I'm talking about Paula White and Donald Trump. And as for Q, here's the problem with Q. Let me just get to this real quick. Because I hear people all the time, you don't understand Q. You don't understand what's going on with Donald Trump. He's playing 4D, 5D, triple decker, Dutch chess, and he's 5 steps ahead of the game. No, he's not. If he was 5 steps ahead of the game, how come you and I are still forced to pay the income tax? Explain that. If he's so, let me sit down here. If he's so for the American people, why are you still paying the income tax? Why are we still dealing with the Federal Reserve fiat currency Ponzi scheme? Well, you don't understand. It takes time to turn this thing around. Why is he filling the Treasury Department with a Goldman Sachs Zionist insider, Steve Mnuchin? Why did he fill the Secretary of State with Mike Pompeo, a known warmonger and Zionist? So when you say you haven't researched Q, I have researched Q. I've done a couple of videos on Q. And you know what the problem with Q only has one problem? Trust the plan. Sorry, I don't. Because you know what that plan entails? That plan says the good guys in government will take out the bad guys in government. Guess what? There are no good guys in government. If you're in government, not only are you deriving your sustenance and your income off the extortion of Americans, but you're also doing it as you oversee the enactment of laws that take away more of our freedoms and take away more of our wealth under the fiat currency Ponzi scheme that works completely in the hands of the Zionist international bankers. If you're with Q, you're for the Zionists. And Zionism is 100% antithetical to individual liberties. So when you say trust the plan that the good guys in government are going to weed out the bad guys in government, where have we heard that before? We always hear that because that's the political game. So if you're trusting Q, you're trusting that which always was. The plan that always was. Well, if we vote these people in, they'll root out the bad guys in government. No. When people come into government, they become a part of the cancer that they say they were against when they were campaigning, wasting all this money. Q is just as evil as Hillary Clinton, as Bill Clinton, as Barack Obama, as Donald Trump. None of these guys are there for your best interest. None of them. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's all you got to do. So back to Shamil. Politics and their followers are the most insane scum on the earth. Brian, Mike Morales said he would love to have a live stream with you to talk about chemtrails. Thank you for your work from a useless eater. All right, Mike Morales, that's another channel. This guy, and Weather Warfare 101, I think. Appreciate the super chat back at Shamil. Yeah, I would love to have a live stream with Mike Morales. Good guy, does a lot of hard work. Definitely deserves your support. Mallard the Duck says, I appreciate your hard work, Brian. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate your support. And Eileen McMullen, no message on that one. Thanks for the super chat. I'm going to keep this short, guys, but you got to understand about this Q, trust the plan. Don't trust any man. Don't put your hope and your trust and pin your, the future hopes of your children and your financial well-being on any man, on any organization, especially any government organization, because it's antithetical to actual human life. When somebody comes along and says, trust the plan, which means trust government to weed out the bad in government, you actually have to tell me to turn my mind off and just literally be clinically insane. Government, so I'm going to wrap it up with this. Government in the last 100 years alone, just in the last century, and excluding people who died in wars, governments alone have cost the lives of their own people to the tune of 250 million people. That's 250 million people have died at the hands of a government they trusted to keep them safe. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Brian High Impact Vlogs, he's against the government. Oh yeah, aren't you? It's like mocking somebody for being against a murder. Can you believe your neighbor is against murderers? Can you believe your neighbor rises up against and opposes rapists? Can you believe that all your neighbors across the street won't back the thief? That's how insane it is. When people mock you for being anti-government, oh no, he's a tax evader. Look how bad they make you. Oh yeah, I'm a bad person because I want to keep 100% of the money I left home to go earn so that I can provide a roof over my family's head and food in their stomach and clothes on their back. Yeah, I'm a bad person because I want to keep 100% of my time and laboring energies, which is exactly what money is, because money is nothing more and nothing less than a container to hold your time, the product of your time and laboring energies, until you're ready to deploy it. And what does the government do? They want to stuff their hands into your pockets, the pockets and the pants that you bought, the money that you made. Tell me how that's right. Well, we couldn't have a legitimate and just society, and how could we build the roads and the schools and the bridges and the clean running water? How could we have any of that stuff without government? Okay, so basically what you're saying is we need the initiation of force, unjust force and violence on peaceful people so that we can generate a peaceful and civil society? Come on, man. Where's your smelling salts? Break them out, crack them open, take a whiff. That's how bad this thing is. Okay, guys, I'm going to make this short. Please share this video with everybody you know. This is off the hook, 100% insanity. And I don't even know what else to say. So no, it's not that I back the now this people. I know what they're all about. It's a liberal slant. You know, there are some things that Democrats say against Trump that are just true because they're true, not because a Democrat said it. And there's some things that Republicans say about Democrats that are just flat out true, not because the Republicans said it. See, the reason you won't accept something from now this, the reason you won't accept certain things from Chris Cuomo or CNN, because guys, CNN does speak some truth, and that's what makes it deceptive. Deception isn't deceptive unless it's deceptive. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? CNN will sprinkle in a little bit of truth in that whole mucus-filled pile of lies so that they can deceive you. But if you reject that little bit of truth that they sprinkled in, then you have actually been confounded by them. Rejecting truth on any account, by any measure, is bad. It's very bad. Nature actually goes against you and testifies against you. All right, one more. Private user says the American Republic will endure until the day Congress discovers that it can bribe the public with the public's money. I can't remember how to say that guy's name. Alexis de Tocqueville. Yeah, the American Republic will endure until the day Congress discovers that it can bribe the public with the public's own money. Yeah, and without the public's knowledge. The public is 100% unaware of it because there are none more hopelessly and completely enslaved than those who falsely believe they're free. And that's why I do these videos, guys. Thank you for your support. Please check out my last two videos, very, very important videos that I did. And I really appreciate you guys. I don't know what else to say other than the reason I'm against government is because I'm for you. I'm for my family. I'm for your family. I don't want somebody extorting you. Extortion is wrong because you wouldn't want that done to yourself. And you frankly wouldn't do that to somebody else. And if you did do exactly what the government does to you, to somebody else, you can expect to be rightly called a criminal. But there's no magical thing that happens when somebody puts on a badge, a uniform, and a gun and tramples your rights. So I appreciate every one of you guys. I'll see you in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.